Good morning, traders. Gates Adams here. I am your host, and welcome to this week's episode of the Trader Bacon Show. First and foremost, wanted to congratulate last week's winners of the evaluations, Ramon Domi, I'm probably mispronouncing that. My apologies. And Rick G, congratulations. Of course, we will be giving away some evaluations again today, so make sure you fill in the form before the show is done. We will be giving away 3 evaluations. Winners will be notified by the end of the week, and you will get instructions on how to get all of that set up. So excited to spend some time with you guys today. Obviously, I am on the road, as you can see from my background. I am not at the home studio, so enjoy the background while we've got it. And anyway, I bring to you guys today, we have Laura from Romania. So I love talking to traders from around the world, just different dynamics and, different time zones, different setups. And we get to get a great perspective today on today's episode of the Trader Bacon Show.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now.
All right. Well, welcome, Laura. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. How you doing today?
Great, Gates. Thanks for having me.
It's absolutely a pleasure. For the home audience over on this side of the world, good morning. But for you, good afternoon. What time is it over there where you are today?
It's 5 in the afternoon. I just got home from the office.
5 p.m. So as we were talking about, a little too late for the coffee. So,
Yeah.
well, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on and have an opportunity to share some of your insight and some of your background as you've been continuing to develop as a trader. But you're not just a trader. So your world does not necessarily just revolve around trading, right?
Definitely not. No, I work in fashion. I own a fashion business,
Okay.
a gothic shop here in Romania. I'm doing this business for 17 years, I think.
Wow.
In trading, I started only about 5 years ago, just before the pandemic.
So how did you actually get into trading? Obviously, as you know, as most small business owners, you're busy, you've got a million things going on. How did trading hit your radar?
And I'm a mother too, and a
You're
wife.
there you go.
Yeah. No, actually, to be honest, I don't really remember how I got into it. It was amazing. I don't know. A lot of apps were emerging back then. It was late 2019, I think, just before the pandemic. I think it was in the winter of 2019. A lot of apps were emerging. They were selling stocks and were promoting that and invest and this and that. So I started then. And luckily for me, I sold what I bought, but I bought that tiny little thing.
Sure.
I sold it just before the pandemic because then everywhere went to dust.
Things started moving, right? Yeah. So did you start off with the equities through this app? Is that where you started? Okay.
Yes. Big names. Actually, I didn't invest I didn't really invest. It was just more like buy low and sell high type of thing. Tesla, I don't know, Nvidia. I was watching that, just thinking and preparing for this show. I was watching the price of Nvidia back then, and it was below 200, and was thinking if I was able to look ahead, nice investing that would have been.
With trading, hindsight is 2020 for sure.
Yeah.
So you started in kind of the simplicity of accessibility through the apps that became available, things like Robinhood, I'm sure, and things like that.
Yeah.
So you went from buying low, selling high, obviously in an environment where this was sort of, I don't want to say a gimme, but it was definitely a lot easier than it is during most normal market circumstances. So how did you progress in your trading from simply using an app to actively day trading?
Actually, this came naturally because when I thought that I restarted, pandemic was hard for everyone. And then I restarted after things settled down a bit. I restarted the same ideas. And I thought I should move it forward. I started to learn about how the price is moving. I don't know, indicators, but those small things that what those apps were offering. The offer
Right.
was limited. And then it was, I think, early 2021 when Elon Musk announced that Tesla bought Bitcoin. That I started looking into that. Actually, I had many friends that were working in crypto. I wasn't. I thought, I don't know what that is. I don't understand it. It's nice, it's interesting, but I don't understand it. But then Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, and then I thought to myself, then why not? Why I must do that as well. And I followed the same structure: sell, buy low, sell high, because of course it was bull market.
Sure.
And then May came. China banned crypto mining, if you remember.
Right.
And everything dropped. All of a sudden, we were not professionals. We were not smart anymore. So I had to get smarter. I started to learn a bit about the price action. But of course, like every other person who just starts trading, I started with indicators. Or I don't know if like everyone, but most of the people I've heard, they are starting first with indicators and then with price action, which is completely against, in hindsight, of course, which is completely against the natural way of things. I joined some discords. I learned from a few people. Afterwards, I think in early 2022, I bought a class.
Sure.
My English probably, I will probably miss some words.
You're doing fantastic. Your English is great.
And with this class, actually, it was the first serious, I don't know, I call it Price Action University, that I followed for about 6 months. It was this guy that recorded a lot of videos about price action, about gap trading. We were trading, or his way of trading was to emphasize on the fact that the market is following liquidity, and as soon as it leaves a gap, it will come back to fill it for sure. The price will come back to fill it. So actually, I studied that a lot. He emphasized also a lot on back testing, which I came to the conclusion afterwards that is the pillar of I don't know, going forward and moving up. You need to back test a lot and not just watch the price. You have to use your time, especially myself, that I have little time, little free time. I have to use it wisely. And back testing was the thing that pulled me over.
Well, and I think that's a great point. And I think like we haven't really talked about back testing on this show, I don't think, in almost a year now. And I think that makes such a great point, because from an experience standpoint, you can get a week's worth of experience back testing in literally minutes. And, we know the value of getting those statistics, but I think the value also comes in the form of that experience and sort of speeding up that process. So I'm glad you brought that up, because we've never talked about back testing on the show.
Yeah, definitely. For me, actually, it was the thing that showed me that, okay, my system is working. How is working? What's my win rate in back testing? And then comes, of course, the psychology when you are trading. That's completely different thing. But the thing that stayed behind my mind was the fact that my system is working. That back testing proved it. So I can move on and cut that loss, because then I will recover it and so on. Right. That was the main thing that actually was the game changer for me. The fact that I understood that the system is working, and I established this system, and I moved forward.
And that's one of the things that we have talked about quite a bit, is the psychology of trading. And I think a big part of that comes in the form of confidence. If you can handle a loss, because statistically speaking, there's always going to be losses. And so what's the best way for you as an individual, as a trader, to psychologically handle a loss? Well, I think the experience of saying, okay, well, I've got 3 years, 5 years, whatever worth of statistics that tell me that, yes, I'm going to have some losses, but I'm going to get out of it. I think that significantly changes the dynamic in terms of confidence, in terms of handling that occasional loss, or hopefully occasional loss.
Yeah.
So
of course they're going to, sorry.
No, you're perfect. So as you develop? So you said you started off with some indicators. Do you mind sharing some of the indicators that like were kind of the beginning stages for you?
Definitely EMAs, like anyone, EMAs, Ichimoku Cloud. I learned a lot about it. But basically, I don't know, MACD, those basic stuff at the
Standards.
beginning. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
So from that, you moved into basically working through and getting comfortable with the price action and the dynamics
Yes,
of the market.
yeah.
So is this where you ended up working through? This was the course that you took, right?
Yeah, that was the course that I took. Was still working in crypto back then because it was 2022. So actually, it was end of 2022. I was having a very small account. I didn't invest a lot in my account, and it was the risk management was awful. I don't know if anyone, probably some of the viewers, okay,
I think
some
we
of
all
the
have, yes.
viewers know how, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to have a stop loss of, I don't know, $5 when that's 20% of your position, let's say,
Right.
in crypto. I mean,
Certainly.
it's horrible because you start to think, what would that $5 bring me? Let's increase it to 10 and so on, and then that's not definitely impossible to do a proper risk management, at least for me. From
Sure.
psychological point of view, I couldn't handle looking only at the percentages. Probably some people can do it, but I couldn't. It was impossible for me. That's why the prop industry actually was the holy grail for me. Yeah. When I first encountered and I first learned about it, I think it was early last year, in January or something, or maybe late 2022, when I learned about it, and it seemed like, wow, you can have all this leverage and all these sizes that you can work with, and that for a small investment from your side, and that's amazing.
And I want to take this opportunity, because I did not mention it in the very beginning, but again, if somebody is looking to move forward in the space of being a funded trader, you can always go to apextraderfunding.com or atf.com, and you can always get whatever the best pricing is available with using promo code Benzinga. So take full advantage of that. That's a great opportunity to, for very little, have an opportunity to have a tremendous amount of leverage based on your own input. So thank you for sharing that. Now, as we've talked about indicators, as we've talked about price action, as we get into today's trading, did you want to take a moment, kind of share with us sort of what your trading structure looks like? I mean, I know we've got some charts prepared and ready to go.
Yes, definitely. After the course I took, actually, I took a further step into learning, and I also learned about order flow, and right now I'm using market profile charts.
Okay.
It looks like that.
Lean in because my eyes. So there we go.
Yeah, my screen is kind of cluttered, but I'm used to it. Let's just start with the easier stuff. Let's see, like that. First of all, I'm taking when I'm preparing for the day, let's say, I'm first of all looking at the TPO levels. I'm trading NASDAQ. I don't know if I mentioned it. I'm trading NQ mainly.
Perfect.
I don't know if mainly. Only.
Only.
Okay.
Right.
Only, yeah, only NQ is easier. Actually, when I started to focus on only one instrument, it was wow. So guys, if anybody is hovering between multiple, just focus on one. Is more than enough. You learn it by heart, you know the levels, you take less time to prepare.
Certainly.
So what I'm doing before the session starts, I think it's about 1 hour before the session starts, I'm marking each of these profiles are 1 day. I'm marking the levels for the previous day. For me, it is interesting to know the value area that the price traded before, the day before. So actually, like this, let me hold, I have a pen here, if I can, like that. So this is the day before. So actually, I was interested in value area high here and value area low here. Also, we are interested in the area where the most volume took action.
Okay.
And as we can see here, I'm going to highlight that like that, something. This was just before London started, London session today. This is today here.
Perfect.
And as we can easily see, the price spent a lot of time at the previous day volume point of control.
Mhm.
and then it started selling off. I think this was just before the New York started. Yes, this is the opening candle. I'm marking the levels in the TPO chart.
Okay.
And then I like to move to the 100 million chart. Let me just delete all those. They stay here. Okay, these are candles based on the volume.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm, okay, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. I'm marking also the single prints. This was actually, since I learned and my basis was how the market reacts at the gaps, I'm following those precisely. These are my main triggers.
Okay.
The single prints fields. So then we are moving towards the 100 million volume. Each of these candles is 100 million contracts traded. So I'm basing my strategy more on the volume candles rather than on the time candles.
Got it.
But I'm watching also the time chart. I'm watching it in TradingView. I'm using it alternatively. Maybe I should give up on it because I'm mainly watching on my ExoCharts screens all the time. What we want to see if the direction is flowing. I want to be aware also of the EMAs because I believe that algorithms maybe sometimes are trading close to these trend lines as well. I'm also watching VWAP because it's also very important since I'm using volume candles, the VWAP and the deviations. As we can see here, we are approaching the value area high. So we had a small sell-off. We dribbled below the VWAP and then we recovered.
Right.
What I'm watching during the day as well is the point of control shift also is telling us something. I'm watching for exhaustion at the top or at the bottom of the candles and some liquidations also in the volume chart mainly. Sure. The entries, I'm taking it on the lower volume charts. I'm marketing usually. I know it's not maybe the best, but I'm a scalper at heart, so I try to market in and market out faster.
Sure. And that's one of the big things that I always talk about is that you've got to find the strategy that works for you. What works for you may not work for me. This is why we have the opportunity to highlight so many different strategic models that, not everybody's going to connect with each one. I used to scalp, and that was, for me, the risk reward of based on what I was doing was a little tough to manage. So I do look for bigger moves now, and I look for one trade and done now. That's more suitable to my tolerance. So everybody's going to be a little bit different. This makes it a great opportunity to see different forms of doing that.
Definitely, yes.
So.
I mainly target, I'm trading multiple accounts, but I'm trying not to copy so many of them.
Sure.
For risk management, from risk management point of view, actually. So I take more trades. I don't take one. Maybe I take 2 or 3 per account. So I'm done. I want to trade as little as possible. I reached the point when if I'm targeting, maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm targeting sort of like daily gain and definitely a daily loss.
Sure.
But sometimes the daily gain is higher than the daily loss.
That's
is lower. Sorry, because otherwise it would have been a positive. So a negative, I want to highlight that, and this I have to work on actually. But I'm on my way.
Now, obviously, we've got you on here because you've been paid out, you've experienced a level of success. But one of the things about trading, I feel, is that it is an ongoing process. There really is no end to the education of trading. There's so much to learn. There's so much to develop. And the market changes. The market doesn't always operate under the same conditions. So with all of that, there's an opportunity. If you're willing to continue to learn and you're willing to continue to grow as a trader, I think that there's just always that continued opportunity to advance. And of course, that's part of part of the process, I think, of continuing to be a successful trader. So now at this point, obviously, we've got a few years background. We've gone through, the equities. We've gone through the crypto. We're obviously now operating in futures. You've got some systems that you've back tested that are working well for you. What has this done for you, as a small business owner, as a mother, as in your world, what has this created for you?
Actually, this allowed me the opportunity for secondary income. Not necessarily for when the business will go bad, because it's not. It's working and it's going as normal. But I can give my kids additional opportunities by having that. But for me personally, except for the money part, of course, for me personally, actually, it improved me as a person. Why I say that? Because in trading and in this activity, especially in futures, actually, not necessarily in crypto, because crypto is filled with very, very young people. In futures, I met incredible people. Some of them I made friends with. We are supporting each other. It's very important to have a person to talk to that shares the similar struggles or similar, I don't know, strengths maybe.
Certainly.
And to be able to talk to somebody without sounding condescending or whatever. I don't know what else. I have developed the skill set that I didn't think I would at this age, and improved myself and got smarter. I don't know why I feel like that. After a few years of learning that, I feel like, wow, I've done this to myself, and I've done it alone, because it's a solo trip actually, and I feel good about that. And also the fact that I have to keep a certain discipline, and the discipline that is required in trading, I believe that also was passed on to my life, and I'm more disciplined in life as well, if that was possible, actually, because I was also very disciplined before, in order to be able to compartmentalize my life in a way to fit trading as well. But it improved me for sure. I still have struggles though. I believe the major one is to be able to, I don't know, think in probabilities, because we are used to I don't know, when a ball drops, it will hit the ground, but in trading is not like that. When the price drops, you don't know where it will drop, where it will stop. So it's very important to master that, and this I have not yet. It's still an ongoing process. I don't know. And as you mentioned, as a business owner, what has done to me as a business owner, I also think that the fact that I own the business, and the fact that most of the time I'm the one leading, I'm the one, I don't know, being right or whatever, this is humbling me a bit with the market, because market doesn't do what I want or what I like or what I manage it to do. Yeah, it does what it wants, and we have to play along. And this was kind of struggling at first, and I'm still working on that as well.
I do think it's an ongoing journey, as I've mentioned before. And I mean, I think a lot of our experience parallels. I owned a small mattress shop for 20 years, a small retail mattress shop. And the reality is that when you have a business like this, from the standpoint of revenue or income or whatever, there's cycles, there's ups and downs. And so it's nice to have something that can kind of help even out some of those, if you can get to that point of consistency, it does help to soften the blow of some of those dips, and help enjoy more. For me, I would have the dips, and then I would have a great couple of months, and all I was doing was making up for the previous months, because I didn't have anything else to supplement in there. So I think from that standpoint, it's just a great opportunity to help even that out. But we talk about discipline, and I think you make a great point. You say, this is extended out to the rest of your life. And I think that the discipline from the rest of your life, you've been able to bring into trading, which I'm sure has been a big part of your success. Which when it comes to discipline, I don't think discipline is a set of actions. I think discipline is an identity. So when you're disciplined in one area, you find yourself you find it easier to become disciplined in other areas as you start to gain experience and operate within that space. And so when you have the discipline of a business owner, when you have the discipline of being a parent, which we all, for anybody who's got kids, I mean, all of these things have to come into play. And so when you can take all of these outside experiences that don't necessarily have to do with trading and bring them into that trading, I find that it's easier to make those transitions and to get over those hiccups, because anybody who's traded more than 5 minutes, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be times where it's fantastic, times where it's going to be like, okay, the market is not doing what I want it to do. I can't manage the market. Right. So I think that's a great point there. So I just want to throw back out one more time. If you're needing to get set up with a new evaluation, make sure to go to Apex Trader Funding, promo code Benzinga. You will always get the best price available when you do that. And of course, if you have not filled out the form yet, make sure to fill out the form. We will be giving away 3 evaluations from this show, and we will be emailing the winners by the end of the week. So make sure you get that taken care of. Laura, any last minute advice for new traders as they're starting to move into this space? What's the best piece of advice you can give them from your experience?
Don't give up. The main argument for that is don't give up, because it will happen. Keep learning, keep absorbing everything from everyone that has the point or has some kind of experience. Try to mix yourself with the good people that know what they are doing, and don't give up. Keep learning. That's the main thing. I fell asleep watching the trading videos, so do that.
I think we've all been there at some point for sure. That's amazing. And to me, I think that's one of the huge benefits of operating as a funded trader, is that you have the ability to not give up as quickly. I know the first time I got into trading and I put in my own funds, like that was it. I lost that money and I could not get back in for years, literally for years. I couldn't get back into trading. Whereas we can get a new evaluation for the cost of a dinner at Chili's. I don't know if they have Chili's in Romania. It's just a basic restaurant out here. It doesn't cost much. So, for $20, $30, you can get a new evaluation and get back into the game, so to speak. And the risk level is financially speaking is capped at that. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about this opportunity is it gives traders time, literally that time factor, to continue to work and to not give up. Because if you've got no more funds to put into the market and that's your only option, you don't have a choice. You give up. And so I think that's one of the beautiful things about this type of system. So, gosh, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today and sharing your insight and taking some time out of your evening. I know as a parent, sometimes 5 p.m. is not the easiest time to do that. So thank you.
I have a very good partner. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That absolutely helps. So, well, again, congratulations on your success, and thank you for sharing some time and some insight with us today. We would absolutely love to talk to you again. So let's definitely keep in touch. For those of you out there, we will be back again next week. I know next week is Easter week, and we were a little, I don't want to say confused, but we weren't sure what the market was doing on Monday, but it looks like it is open on Monday for the full day. So we will have our show as usual. We've got a great guest already lined up and ready to go. So we'll have a lot of fun. We'll give away some more evaluations and share some more insight from the world of successful funded traders who, of course, are bringing home the bacon. Laura, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thank you. It was fun. Thank you.
And thank you. And for those of you watching, thanks for hanging out with us once again. We appreciate you. Come back and check us out next week, and we'll see you soon on the next Trader Bacon Show.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts